Good to go.
Meeting to order. Disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. There's no public meetings, no deputations and delegations. 5, adoption of meeting agenda. Go ahead.
There's a correction here for the agenda as in 7.2 ad hoc committee Sharp Lake property. It currently reads, be it resolved that councillor appoint councillors Cooper, Hunter, and Wilcox and one member of the public. It should state, be it resolved that council appoint councillors Cooper, Hunter, Hughes, and one member of the public.
Okay. All right, draft motion. Be it resolved that council approve the agenda of the regular meeting dated June 20th, 2023 as presented. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Hughes, Councillor Anderson. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. 6, approval of previous council minutes. Draft motion. Be it resolved that council approve the following minutes as presented. Regular meeting of council, May 16th, 2023. Committee of the whole meeting, June 6th, 2023. Special meeting of council, June 13th, 2023. Need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Cooper, Councillor Hughes. Any discussion on those minutes? Councillor Cooper?
Yeah. Why are we doing 3 at a time? Why do we not do them at the next meeting?
I believe the one was a special meeting.
Yeah.
And
So we're still doing 2 at a time. Last time we did it was 3.
And they do it at
these at the next meeting.
We only do it at the regular meetings when we put these in the.
hang on.
Your worship, it's currently in procedure bylaw. I believe it has it in the regular meeting here for approval of the previous.
Fair enough.
So there's always going to be 2 if we're only approving them in the regular meeting.
So for example, this would be a regular meeting of the
Committee of
whole
the
and the special that we're doing here.
Yes.
Okay, we're doing.
Okay.
Could I add to that, chatting with other members in the community, and after they've had a meeting, as soon as their minutes are printed, they send them out to everybody to look at while everything is still fresh in their minds. And I'm wondering if we could adopt that rather than always just presenting the meetings, the minutes of the meetings at the next regular meeting, because that can be a month away.
I believe we probably could. That would be up to our procedural bylaw ad hoc committee members. Because that would be part of the amendment of the procedural bylaw.
I wrote it down already.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Carry. Item number 7, items for council consideration, strategic planning session items. Draft motion, be it resolved that council adopt the strategic planning items as discussed at the June 13th, 2023 special meeting of council. Under public works, we have traffic pedestrian areas of concern. Staff is doing a report. Downtown buildings makeover/assessment, staff report. Fleet new snowplow, we're waiting on a staff report. Sewer line, Ruby Street, waiting on a staff report. Crosswalks/speed reduction of Lang Street at St. Pat's School, again, staff report. Tech Park, ball field backstop realignment, they're investigating if it's doable. 7, separate storm water and sewage, no action required. Administration, amend tax installment due date to quarterly dates. Staff report, amend council meeting schedule. It's going to go on a future agenda. Listing of vacant lots, the staff is doing a report. Community space/community hall, staff is going to be doing a report. Trailer park lease revenue or tax revenue, staff is doing up a report. Town flag/t-shirts sell to residents to encourage community spirit. We're waiting on a staff report. Council for further discussion. And so these will be on future agendas. Wetland weir, agenda item. Food bank relocation to 18 Silver Street, backspace both spaces. Fire museum, the P-Inge wants a second look, tear down or stabilize. Rebuild reserve / long-term financial solution. We're going to discuss options. Sharp Lake property, we're forming an ad hoc committee of councillors Cooper, Hunter, Hughes, plus a member of the public to investigate options. Revisit animal control bylaw, create an ad hoc committee in the fall, post public service notice regarding current bylaw and noise bylaw. 7, designated seniors building, continue discussions with the ministry and DSAP. Service review, request input from municipal departments. Contractor of record, RFP for services. Improve social well-being for vulnerable population, encourage community involvement. Under beautification, we have murals, and we're going to investigate options for repair and interest of groups. Cleanup and visual enhancement, some could be done by volunteers, some could be done by community involvement. Encourage residents to submit their concerns and ideas to the municipal office, and if it's within the approved budget, the staff will go ahead with the approval so that no momentum is lost. And then we'll get an update. 2024 budget discussions, music jam sessions at Tech Park, Golden Age Club involvement, electrical outlets are some of the items we need to look at. Sports programming may require a budget allocation for recreation. And the fire truck, the fire chief is exploring different options. A mover and a seconder on all that. Okay, Councillor Anderson and Councillor Starchuk. Any discussion? Councillor Wilcox.
A couple of the items under for further discussion, the food bank relocation and the fire museum. The two of those kind of go hand in hand. We need to know what's going to happen with the fire museum and if the food bank needs to relocate, and if it does, where it's going to go. But it bothers me that we have the food bank operating in a building that's not necessarily secure and stable. I don't think that's a healthy situation. So I was wondering if we could make that a priority to get a staff report in to see what we might do ASAP rather than, we didn't have it down as a staff report from the early, as the early ones do. But I would really like to see that move ahead as quickly as we can.
I believe the office is moving ahead with that right now to get all the information they can. I believe a contractor's been in to look at the space for the food bank relocation.
Right, but just like, wouldn't we be advertising for contractors to bid on it?
I believe that's why they're doing the contractor of record.
Yeah, well, we'll be putting it out there. We're just getting some ideas of what's going to happen in there.
Of the work
So
that
you're
needs to be
interested in
done.
the food bank as well to see what they would like in the area?
Okay. They're already on it, but we also have to give staff time to investigate different options and come up with the most feasible.
Yeah, my concern is just, I have no idea what shape that building's in and whether it will or will not fall, but it's not, I'm not comfortable with it, so.
Mhm.
Like one corner is really bad. Yeah.
Councillor Hughes?
Yeah, do you think, I don't know, maybe Pat can help out with this one, but can you give us some sort of numbers on how much the food bank actually serves, like people, monthly, weekly, like a rough idea, like not right now, but like in the near future? With Emily and them guys?
Yeah.
See what
Yeah.
kind of numbers there are?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should be able to get that. Should be able to add it up myself. I will tell you,
Okay.
last week it was 20.
Okay.
Any other? Councillor Cooper?
Can we move the fire truck into a priority? I believe our fire truck testing is this week, and it failed last year, so there's no reason that it's going to pass this year. So we're going to end up losing our mutual aid unless we get on this. There was just one for sale in Alberta for $189,000 in 2018, and we missed out on it.
Where would you like us to take that out of the budget?
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to discuss something,
Well, that's why we're looking at options.
yeah, but if we're looking at next year's options, like, we're going to have a fire truck probably parked within the next week.
And you gotta have the money to purchase it.
Yeah.
We can't purchase it on a wish.
There's lending institutions.
Counselor, you-
When is the test? Is it next
I
week?
think it's this week, if I'm not
You
mistaken.
guys all know?
I did talk to mechanic on that again. I believe it was supposed to be, this week.
This week?
Yeah,
Sometime
this
like
week or early next week.
Yeah.
Just have to double check.
We are in communications with the fire chief, so, okay. I
just
actually,
don't want to see us pass up a good deal like this one here, 2018. It's a 5-year-old truck and it's well sold now. I checked before I come down, but if we could get that in somehow.
How much was it?
it's $189,000 isn't something we can.
Well, the new truck's almost 600.
Well, again, and it may as well be 600 when you don't have the 189,000.
You gotta look it all up.
Yeah.
Town of Cobalt doesn't have a credit card?
It's been used.
We'll chip it.
Any other discussion? No? Okay, all in favor? Carried. 7.2 Ad hoc Committee, Sharp Lake Property. Draft motion. Be it resolved that council appoint councilors Cooper, Hunter, Hughes, and one member of the public to an ad hoc committee to review options available for the municipally owned Sharp Lake property. I need a mover and a seconder. Councilor Cooper, Councilor Wilcox. Discussion. Can I start off the discussion? I'd like to give staff direction to advertise, put an advertisement out to fill the residence spot. Okay, and Councilor Cooper?
That was the first thing on my list. You stole it.
Okay.
And are we to, if this passes tonight, are we to move ahead with meetings prior to getting that other person?
That would be up to council really, or the ad hoc committee if they feel comfortable about moving forward.
Comfortable with the 3, then we can move forward and hopefully find somebody from the public.
I think you could start and then bring the member of public in once the spot's been filled. Councilor Anderson?
That's okay. Could we maybe have up to 2 members of the public? Like, I think it'd be great for us to meet and then also see the applicants. And if there's some really good skills, then maybe we want 2 members of the public. I'm just putting it out. I don't know why we chose 1, so I'm just saying maybe 2.
I'm not sure. That was council's direction last meeting. Councilor Wilcox?
I might suggest that with 3 councillors on the, they perhaps should be given the discretion to invite members of the public as required, rather than to necessarily wanting to appoint somebody as a permanent individual on it. Because you may want 1 or more people with different kinds of expertise.
I believe that would be up to the ad hoc committee to invite people for different advice and not necessarily part of the ad hoc committee.
I guess I'm just suggesting that maybe one member of the public could be struck from this and then just leave it up to the ad hoc committee to bring in expertise as they need it.
Can we revise
Like
that?
a special speaker kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you want a lawyer,
Guy
or
that
you
knows
want a real
about
estate
that.
agent, or you want whomever it might be, you know, an engineer to look at what's feasible.
Okay, and
So, your worship, you would like to have the 1 member, then bring in anyone else if required?
no, they want to strike the 1 member and just
Yes.
bring public in as required.
Yeah, perhaps strike as and 1 and just put in and members of the public as required.
Up to the ad hoc committee. Put it in their hands. Makes sense.
Well, I don't mind having 1 or 2, or like saying somebody that's actually on the committee and then having the option to consult with other people who aren't necessarily larger committee members. They're just brought in on a consultation, asking a question basis. I think it would be good to have at least 1, if not 2 members of the public that are dedicated to following the process.
I tend to agree. I think that we should leave the 1 member of the public. That was the council's direction at the last meeting, and that's how we wrote it up. And then the ad hoc committee always has the ability to bring people in to speak on different items if they need to or for information. But that's my
Yeah,
opinion.
I'm in agreement with that too. Should leave the 1 member of the public in there. To follow along, you've got the good point that that's 1 member of the public that's always involved in following along with everything. And then others, whoever is needed for various meetings and various different topics, that kind of thing to, just on and on.
I guess that just kind of goes hand in hand with maybe transparency, that there is a public that's not affiliated with the council involved. So I guess I'm fine with that. That sounds good.
Your worship. Our direction is to have one member. What would the timeline for it to be advertised? As soon as possible until the 30th of June?
Yes, I believe so. Is council okay with that?
Speed up the process.
Yeah. Okay, all in favor? 7.3 Cobalt Water Commission Committee Appointments. Draft motion. I'm gonna read the whole motion, then we'll go back and we'll go through the applicants again and vote on each of the applicants. And then we'll pass the resolution. Whereas the Cobalt Water Commission requires a composition of 5 members, and whereas members Harry Cooper, Reiner,
Rennie?
Reiner have been appointed by resolution of Cobalt and Coleman councils respectively, and whereas the following residents have submitted their names. 1, Mary Church from Cobalt, Helen Culhane from Cobalt, Rennie Lafleur from Cobalt, Victor Legault from Coleman, Sue Nielsen from Cobalt, George Othmer from Cobalt, Richard Pickard from Cobalt, Rochelle Swartz from Cobalt. Okay. So now we'll go through each of the applicants, or hang on. Yeah,
Worship, just finish this off here and then we'll be done. We have to move this. And then for discussion.
okay, I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Wilcox, Councillor Anderson. And now we're into the discussion. So we'll go through the names and vote. Mary Church.
Do we get like 3 votes each for?
No,
okay.
you can vote for whoever you want, and it's whoever has the most for, and if we have a tie, then we'll have to go back and revisit it. We talked about a few different ways to do it today, and that seemed to be the best way to do it. Okay. Mary Church, all in favor? So there's 2 in favor? Helen Culhane. 3, 4, and 5.
5.
5 in favor. Rennie Lafleur, 1, 2 in favor. Victor Legault, 2 in favor. Sue Nielsen, 1 in favor. George Othmer, George's favorite, 6 in favor. Richard Pickard, none. Rochelle Swartz, 2 in favor. And Catalias.
Your worship, George Othmer has 6.
Mhm.
We take the first position. Next would be Helen Culhane with 5.
Okay,
And then there's ties for 2. And we have Mary Church with 2, Renee Lafleur with 2, Victor Legault with 2, and Rochelle Schwartz with 2. So we need one more person.
okay. Go through the 2s again.
I know, can I say something before we start? I know, I'm a proponent for Mary Church. I know she's done it before, and Jack was one of the original ones on it way back in the day, her husband. And I know she spent some time on there, and she's quite passionate about it.
Okay.
Could I ask Councillor Hughes which side of the coin she rests on? My criteria is that if they're going to defend the Cobalt.
She's certainly not on the development of the side.
Pardon?
She's not on the development of
That's what I need to know.
protection.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go through the 2s again. Mary Church. We now have 4 for Mary. Renee Lafleur, 2. Victor Legault. 2. Rochelle Swartz. 2. So it would be Mary Church, Helen Culhane, and George Othmer are 3 residents. Now therefore be it resolved, oh, sorry. Do you want to read the whole motion
Yeah,
again?
read.
Okay. Now therefore be it resolved that council appoint the following 3 members to the Cobalt Water Commission. Mary Church, Helen Culhane, and George Othmer. Okay. All in favor? That was complicated. 7.4, Cobalt Fire Department recruits. Draft motion. Be it resolved that council approve the recommendation from the Cobalt Fire Chief to appoint the following applicants as volunteer firefighters to the Cobalt Fire Department, which brings the complement up to 24 members. Bruce Barstow, Andrew Cole, Kevin Cooper, Tyler Eckensviller, Amanda Noble. Need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Wilcox, Councillor Starchuk. Any discussion? Councillor Hughes?
Is it necessary that we have 24 members? It seems like we have a lot of members.
Because it's a volunteer fire department, I believe that is a good number because if some are away or some can't be there because of their jobs, they work in a different area. This way you actually get a good response.
And these people have kind of been vetted by the guy that runs it there, the chief, and
Yeah.
he's confident in all these people?
Yep.
Because I don't know if you,
Yeah.
and I heard one guy quits quite a bit.
Well, and again, that's another reason why you have 24. So
Okay.
if some don't come out or some decide it's not for them, you still have a complement of firefighters.
Okay.
And
Is that everyone's opinion? 24 is not too much, yeah?
I've been told that that is the maximum, so they wouldn't put 26 on, like 24 was their goal.
Any other discussion?
And it does say approve the recommendation from the fire chiefs.
Yeah. Okay.
They've been trained to vet it and everything.
Any
All
other
right.
discussion? Okay. Yeah, vote. All in favor? Carried.
You want us to vote all in favor? Is that what you said?
Oh,
Oh,
no. Okay. 7.5, Mayor's Breakfast, Canada Day, draft motion. Be it resolved that council approve the request from the Golden Age Club for the funds in the amount of $1,500 to host the Mayor's Breakfast in celebration of Canada Day, July 1st, 2023. Need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Cooper, Councillor Hughes, any discussion? Okay. Councillor Cooper?
We received 1580, did we not?
Yeah.
1560.
Or whatever it is. What do we do with the extra $50? Do we just amend that?
Hang on.
Your worship, the $60 will be going towards the Canada Day activities because the province or federal government provided us with the funds for that, for celebration. So we're making sure every penny is gone towards.
Councillor Hughes?
No, it's okay. I was going to just ask if it was 1,500 needed for pancakes. It's a lot of pancakes.
They serve a lot of pancakes.
Serve a lot of pancakes.
Depending on the vanilla.
It's a very, very,
Another Death Star.
yeah, no, they serve a lot of pancakes. It's a very busy time down there. So,
We'll show them all the time, Gary.
Maybe I have to volunteer and flip
okay,
pancakes.
guys.
And always take.
Any other discussion? No? All in favor? Carried. 7.6 Ad Hoc Committee, Purchasing Bylaw Number 2005-004. Be it resolved that council appoint councillors Anderson and Wilcox to an ad hoc committee to review the general purchasing policy bylaw number 2005-004. Need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Hughes, Councillor Cooper, any discussion? Okay. All in favor? Carried. 7.7, school bus stop arm cameras. Draft motion, be it resolved that council for the town of Cobalt support the resolution from the municipality of North Perth regarding the installation of school bus arm cameras on all school buses for the start of the 2023-2024 school year, and that a copy of the resolution be forwarded to the Attorney General, Minister of Education, Phenom, and MPP John Bantoff. Need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Anderson, Councillor Wilcox, discussion? None? All in favor? Items for council information, 7.8, transit update. Councillor Anderson.
Okay, well, we won't take as long as their meeting did. First of all, Tammy Caldwell came representing both the college, at Northern College, and the Chamber of Commerce. So we had discussions with her on some aspects, and we will have continuing discussions with her. So I won't go into all the details on it. I think the most important thing that will be coming down the tubes for us, Temiskaming Shores will be putting together a memorandum of understanding between Temiskaming Shores and Cobalt for the operation of the bus services. They were looking back, and the original memorandum, I believe, goes back to when transportation services were first offered. So it's that far out of date, and it included the bus companies of the times that have gone through. And now that there's just 2 communities involved, and the 2 communities are contracting the bus company, then they felt that the memorandum should just be rewritten so it reflects that. So it's just a taking care of business type of thing. We discussed several maintenance issues and things like that go along with it. We still do not have, and we will not have until near the end of the year, an amount on what transit is actually costing this year because of the downtime for the 2.5 months there. So we're just building it back up and wait and see. And I think that amount will be added to next year's budget if it's over. We've been discussing for some times now and deciding on the next bus to buy, and we've agreed that we're going to buy for the next couple of times smaller buses that should pretty well hold all our passengers even at peak time, but they will be Canadian made and they will be a lot cheaper, and hopefully maintenance then will be a lot better for us. So we're finding the big buses really aren't necessary. And that's most of it, I think.
Yeah, the smaller buses that they're looking at purchasing actually also don't run on diesel, they run on gas.
Right.
Which is why they're cheaper to maintain, cheaper to repair. The current buses, the full-size buses, the parts are very costly because there is only one supplier. So that's why they're looking at this other option. And they hold up to 25 passengers,
Yeah.
which is what their peak numbers are showing.
And the bus drivers don't need quite as high a license. So it'll be easier to hire replacement bus drivers down the line. So this has been in discussion for a 1.5, 2 years now, so.
Councillor Hughes?
Is there any options in alternative fuels? Not electric, but like a natural gas bus? Anything like that? Have they looked into any of those
No.
cost savings?
No.
Because you get a lot more kilometers out of a natural gas bus.
If we had a natural gas fuel station here.
Not too hard to put in.
No, we have not discussed that. Back to gas.
Still cheaper than diesel though.
Yeah.
Councillor Starchuk?
I'm not sure if I can speak to this or not. I'm actually a transit driver. Am I allowed to talk about this or?
You can talk about it, yeah.
I think there's a mistake being made by going to those smaller buses. I went through this in the winter. Their confined space. People come on with buggies and strollers. People with the baby strollers couldn't get on that bus, the shuttle bus that you're talking about getting. Like that, they can't, and the places put their groceries and stuff, it was terrible. It was sort of the aisles like this to get through. It's just, they got people on there with baby strollers. They're bulky things, right? And
Is that a
and
25
buggies.
passenger?
And buggy, no, this is a big, oh yeah, they're 24 passenger with the driver, it's 25, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
But they're so confining for the people, and even how do you get your groceries in a buggy on there? Where are you going to put them? Like, there's no place. You got the place to sit. Are you going to have them on your lap? I don't see how. We had a really hard time in those buses, in that bus, in the shuttle bus. I found it very confining, and so did the people. It was frustrating. Plus, you need for the people that can't lift their legs, you can lower the bus and then put the ramp up. There's not going to be a ramp on those buses. There won't be that. So that's the problems I have with that. But other than that,
Definitely bring that
I
up.
understand the cost. I understand the cost savings and everything, but people are going to be pretty upset, I think, if we go that direction.
Maybe there's a small design, maybe your design features exist in a small bus. It's worth bringing it up for them to see.
Okay, yeah, you know that bus that we have now holds, what, 30 some odd passengers, and it's standing room only a lot. Like you get in there, you can't move. Again, you're going to a bus that carries 24 and nowhere to put anything. People go grocery shopping from here, go to Walmart and Food Basics. I just think it's not going to be inclusive. We're supposed to be inclusive.
Good points to bring back to the transit committee.
I will.
Councillor Wilcox?
Thank you, Your Worship. I really want to second Jim's comments. I am a bus rider from time to time. And his comment about seniors and disabled persons needing the ramp are very true.
So
Otherwise, there are some people who will not be able to use public transit, and I don't know what they do then. With respect to ridership, it is sometimes sporadic, but I can remember once we pulled into the Haileybury School of Mines, and when we left, I had my grocery bags up on my lap, and the place was wall-to-wall people. There was absolutely no room to bring anybody else on. So I think you're being optimistic. I think you can downsize that much and still provide the service that it should be.
Question to Jim, do the small buses not have a ramp that pops out?
No.
No, it wouldn't be an option
No,
maybe?
you couldn't, like these buses, the big buses we have, they can kneel, you can lower the air and go down. This no, it's
Oh, they don't have that, eh? Oh.
You had the back door, which is an emergency exit. Sometimes I had to take, when they brought their groceries in a cart, I couldn't bring them in the front door. I had to go to the back, open it, and have them at the back seat, and then have to go open it again. I had to shut the vehicle off because the alarm goes off.
Well, that's important.
So the key had to be off. So I had to shut in the winter. The heat, everything goes off. I had to go back and open the door to put the groceries in there, and then again taking it off, right?
So it's not wheelchair accessible?
Not the one we had in the winter. I don't know, they might get one like that, but like what if you got like sometimes 4 or 5 people that are disabled that have walkers, and then the people with the strollers too. They weren't included in the winter. They could not get their strollers on their babies, right? For their kids. That's what I think. So it's just a big problem, I think. If you
Pass that all back on.
Yeah, but I understand the cost savings. I know definitely they had less problems with that gas vehicle
Okay.
for the 5 weeks.
Maybe we can make a recommendation to transit committee to have a discussion with maybe the drivers.
Or our supervisor,
Control.
sorry, our supervisor Barb Brown, I think we'd be the best one to talk to. She's pretty expert at this.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, all in favor? Oh, sorry, there was no vote on that.
No.
No.
I all sidetracked.
Can I just do the library update in this little part as well? Since I didn't have something last time for us?
To the, usually it would be.
We
the
would have
committee
to
of the
amend
whole
the
meeting.
agenda.
No problem.
I'll put you on the next meeting.
Sure.
Okay, draft motion. Be it resolved that council accept the items for council consideration information as presented. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Wilcox and Councillor Cooper. Okay, we've had our discussion. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
All kerfluffled. 8, bylaws and agreements. 8.1, bylaw number 2023-17, appointment of deputy mayor. Draft motion. Whereas section 242 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended provides that a municipality may appoint a member of council to act in the place of the head of council and to preside at meetings when the head of council is absent or refuses to act or the office is vacant. Now therefore be it resolved that the council for the corporation of the town of Cobalt hereby enacts as follows. 1, that Pat Anderson be appointed as deputy mayor for the corporation of the town of Cobalt for the term of council, and said bylaw shall come in force and take effect on the date of its final passing. 2, that bylaw 2022-26 be hereby rescinded. Taken as read a first, second, and third time passes 20th day of June 2023. And further, that said bylaw be signed and sealed by the mayor and clerk. You need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Starchuk, Councillor Wilcox. Discussion. Councillor Wilcox.
I see you're going to repeal bylaw 2226, which is great, but I wanted to take this opportunity, and just so that everybody will know, I'm going to tender my resignation as deputy mayor of the town of Cobalt, and I want to wish Pat every success in her new position.
Thank you.
Councillor Wilcox. And we still need to vote. So, any other discussion? How do we? No, we'll just ask all in favor. Carried.
It's easy.
So did that save us from rescinding the bylaw then within?
Oh, no, you still have to do that.
No, we still have to rescind the bylaw. 9, unfinished business, there is none. 10, I'm sure there is. New business, 10.1, schedule of accounts, draft motion. Be it resolved that council receives the following schedules as presented. Schedule number 2023-10 in the amount of $147,435.52. Schedule number 2023-11 in the amount of $126,602.46. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Starchuk, Councillor Anderson, discussion? None? All in favor? Carried. 10.2, Canada Day events. Councillor Anderson.
Okay, well, you all know that we've got the pancake breakfast starting in the morning. And I have the mayor of Cobalt and the mayor of Coleman definitely going to be there to serve pancakes. And anyone else that wants to come and help would be greatly appreciated. So we'll be starting, opening the door, I think about 8:30. To start serving pancakes there. The rest of the events after that, I'll be taking off and going down to the parade. Parade will start at noon. Will be like it has been for the last few years. Any of the kids that show up that want to walk in the parade are welcome to come. The Shriners are now counting up how many little carts they have ready to go. And to show up, I think Golden Age Club is putting in they'll have a float in there and all the fire trucks we can grab. So, and the two mayors have agreed to drive their cars in the parade as well. So.
Mayor's looking for somebody to drive her in the parade.
Decorated.
Mork and I.
Yeah.
Sit on the roof.
A wedding.
If you
well-
tie me on, maybe. Yes.
As well, we have water and freezies donated again from the Little Silver Nugget grocery store. What else? The last $60 that was left over, I'm afraid I have to admit that I went to the flea market And I did get a 20% discount, but I was losing track of what I had picked for prizes for the kids, and I went over $10.25 that we've got to find in our budget somewhere. But years ago, we used to do, for the parade, the kids were all in costumes, and there was big costume judging and everything, and bigger prizes. Well, there had been arguments about that too. So what I started when I took over was every kid that comes to march in the parade gets a small toy prize, that kind of thing. So that's what I use those leftover little bits for. And we have prizes kind of for all ages.
Counselor?
Other years, haven't the Lions Club done activities in the park?
Yes, they have. The last 2 years, their president hasn't been available for it. So they have promised, he has promised that next year they will be part of it and doing something.
Not this year, though.
Not this year, no. I already checked that one out. So we'll be handing out, the Legion, I believe, is gone out to make a few purchases that they'll be handing out to the kids en route and things like that too. So our little parade just builds, and anyone else that wants to put a float in, join in any way, it would be really great. So
I tried to get the pink Jeep, but that's not on the road yet.
Attach that flag to your car, right there.
Counselor Cooper?
From the council side of this, do we need to have a bylaw passed to close the streets? Also, does our insurance cover the parade? We should probably check into that. Just in case somebody gets hurt, we don't want to be liable.
Buses too.
And we need to notify the police and ambulance of the road closure as well.
Yeah, we could have Public Works superintendent taking care
Public Works Superintendent will be taking care of that.
and notify transit to the.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. Do we need to pass a bylaw to close the street or? No?
We
Okay.
never have. I don't think we've ever passed.
No.
No? Okay.
Have we thought at all about public washrooms? Like washroom accessibility? No.
You don't have budget for that? No, you're only coming down to the parade for an hour
Right.
at the most, yeah. It's not a lengthy parade, so it's pretty quick.
Okay, 10.3, Mayor's Report. Under the Mayor's Report, I'm gonna do a little public announcement each time. So this week, I'd like to say to the public, if you see something, call 911, not a friend, don't post it on Facebook, because that doesn't solve the issue, it just perpetuates the issue. Because the friends can't report it, and the police aren't manning Facebook, so the only way to stop things from happening is to call 911 or call Crime Stoppers. You can report, they don't collect any personal information, so it's confidential. You don't have to give your name out. Okay, and I think, nope. And unfortunately, due to a Ministry of Natural Resources meeting on Thursday with a wildfire update, I'm going to have to postpone mayor's hours in the office till Thursday, June 29th, because they set it at the same time. And our next committee of the whole meeting on July 12th will be rescheduled to Wednesday, July 13th, because we have a special closed meeting on July 12th. Oh, sorry, 11th and 12th.
Yeah.
They're on dates today. Sorry, July 11th is postponed to July 12th because we have a closed special meeting on July 11th.
It's at 1:30, right?
Yes,
It should be over by the time 6:30.
but that's a lot of meetings in one day, a lot of information.
That screws
Yeah.
with people's schedules.
And there's going to be information from the closed session that council's going to want to consider before we go to our meeting. Okay, and that's it for me. Okay, And then 11, closed meeting. Just want to let the public be aware that the recording will not resume after close, but the public's welcome to come back into chambers after close. Draft bylaw, be it resolved that council convene in closed session as per section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended in order to address a matter pertaining to subsection 2B, personal matter about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Starchuk, Councillor Anderson, discussion? All in favor? Carried. Okay, and we'll take a 10-minute break.
5 minutes?